Welcome back, everybody. We are here at the LCK 2020 Summer for the second match of the night, Afreeca versus KT. And we could have Afreeca making it straight into the playoffs if they do win this game. KT would need to take them down and Dom1. And Afreeca would also need to lose their next game in order for KT to have a chance to make it into playoffs.
And that's just not really realistic for KT to take down Dom1, so there's a lot of things going on here. Obviously, Afreeca, they want to come into tonight's series and try to win it in 2-0 fashion to really just set the precedent that, you know, things are the way that they are for the West Side teams. But we'll see what KT has up their sleeves and what they can potentially try to do, because they're going to need to sort of do a miracle run.
Yeah. It's going to have to be the perfect storm of games and things that happen to both their team and the teams they're playing against, and Afreeca and the teams that they're playing against. So if you are a KT fans, I wouldn't get my hopes up just yet, but this is the first step. They would need to take out Afreeca. As you can see here, the final two contenders for the last playoff berth, Afreeca win and clinch, versus KT win and pray.
And Afreeca always fifth. Afreeca has always ended on the fifth in every summer split. Will they get fifth once again with a win today? KT will be out of playoff contention if they lose today. Will they knock out the gatekeeper and keep their hopes alive? And again, it's their hopes. They have to go through Dom1 as well, and that is a very high task for them to try to do. To be eliminated or to advance, roster change on the top side is coming in for both teams, who will be starting to fight for their fate. And that is an interesting point, Valdez. That is definitely something going on here. So, Afreeca, they're coming in today on 10-16. They're going to be on the blue side. And so we'll see if KT can actually manage to utilize any of the counter picks that they have available. We'll see if any surprising picks are going to come out. We saw Lilia in the first series of tonight. And, yeah, just taking a look at team stats here.
You can see that the gold leads at 10 and 20 are really what we're highlighting here. You can see every time that Afreeca gets ahead at 20 minutes, they win. So they're 7 and 0 so far there, whereas KT have lost a couple of games from ahead in a couple of scenarios. Of course, you'll notice that the amount of times that they got ahead is not always, it's not that consistent, right? It's only happened 7 times where Afreeca is ahead. This is game score, not series score. So of the 9 series they've won, they have at least they have 18 wins. So 7 out of 18 essentially. And there you have it. There are definitely some extra wins from the losses in the series they've taken as well. But either way, guys, you will notice that Dread is starting. It is not going to be Spirit here for the side of Afreeca. And so we're talking about interesting picks. Well, maybe we'll see some interesting stuff in the jungle.
I wonder what could be the reasoning for Dread to be starting. Obviously, with some change up inside of the meta, perhaps Dread has been playing different champions than Spirit, especially in scrims. KT, they're going to be starting their lineup with Kuro in the mid lane here today, as well as Bono in the jungle. And we take a look at the key player matchup. This is Aiming and Mystic. And remember, this is the patch where Ashe just got nerfed.
Yeah.
And Mystic has had quite an affinity for her.
Yeah, he certainly has. And he's had an affinity for carrying. Essentially, he has some really nice stats. So this is compared to all the other 80 carries in round 2. And it does look like Mystic is pretty solid there in the 2nd or 3rd spot, whereas Aiming is probably 3rd or 4th in terms of stats, of course, but obviously these two have been the driving factors behind a lot of these teams' wins.
Yeah, Aiming is one of the main pillars of KT, and he's been that way throughout pretty much the entire season. When KT is winning, Aiming is one of the primary reasons for it in most of their games. He's definitely a monster, and seeing what's going to happen here between these two teams, paying attention to what happens to each of their respective marksman players, is going to be really important inside of the game. So, obviously, top side of the map, you do have Keen, and Keen can always do Keen things. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with Dread, what type of player is Fly going to be today?
Yeah, you know, he has had some really nice games where he'll play Orianna and get multiple shockwaves and be the only person really doing much on his team. Then he'll have other days where it's like, well, was this the right choice, or should we have gone all in on the player, all in, and put him into the mid lane? So it is a good point. We'll see which Fly is here today. He looks pretty happy. He's got a little smile on. And he will be going up against Kuro, as you did mention, which we haven't seen. We haven't seen him in a little bit. Ducal has been starting for the past 3 or so series. And so he'll attempt to give KT their shot at actually making it into playoffs.
And KT, again, they need to go on a bit of a miracle run. And so winning the first game here, trying to get the 2-0 over Afreeca, super important for them. And I don't think that, aside from the changes that we already mentioned, I don't think that there's been too many meta shifts that are going to be super beneficial to either of these two teams. I am curious about Lucian, if he's going to be let through at all.
Yeah. I would imagine not. I mean, the buff was pretty nice, and he was already in a decent spot where he was getting picked, you know, a good third of the games around. So, I mean, to have that presence is already not bad, but then to get buffed to the spot where he did, it's definitely can be dangerous to leave him available, especially with how strong he is in the lanes. But no bans just yet. Only mid lane bans, LS.
Yep. And there's Senna. Finally being banned away by Afreeca. Don't want to give that one over. KT. What is going to be their final ban? There's still so many champions that are just left open. Curious if we'll actually see Lilia get banned away.
Ooh.
No, it's actually going to be Hecarim.
Do they value Volibear in the same length? No, not the same as T1. They're going to go with the Karma, which I don't imagine Keen would be playing that pick, as Keen is more of a carry style player.
Yep. Imagine that that'll probably be for Fly or Ben down there in the bot lane. Remember, this is 10-16. The patch where Karma did get hit a little bit. KT now, they're locking in Caitlyn and Volibear as R1 and R2, so a bit of aggression definitely coming out. Now, Olaf and Set and friends, they are still all open. Ezreal being hovered, that could just get locked in, and then that would be Ezreal Karma bot lane. Most likely, one of the biggest bread and butters.
Yeah. And it's his most played that's not... Okay, well there's Renekton, so Keen probably going to be jumping onto that one. Could be Flex mid, but we'll have to wait and see. But... yeah, Mystic is definitely an Ezreal player. Outside of that, he's played a lot of Aphelios and Ashe just got nerfed. Kalista was available, but didn't want to go that kind of short range. She has fallen off a little bit because of the meta of the bottom lane.
Jace now being hovered and going to get locked in. We saw T1 try this approach earlier on tonight. The Jace into the Renekton. We'll see how Smeb is going to manage to pilot it. Nidalee now getting banned away by KT. See if they just try to ban away yet another AP farming jungle. Maybe Karthus even does actually bite the dust.
Afreeca coach deep in thought, thinking about what to do. Nautilus banned, which is kind of interesting. That kind of a melee support. Obviously pretty tanky and buff, but up against Ezreal Karma, not going to have the most fun time.
And okay, they're going to ban away Elise. So the bread and butter combo not going to be available on the table, although it is a Very unpopular combo nowadays. You don't really tend to see Elise all that much. And Afreeca now have to decide on their final ban. They might just actually ban something like Thresh or something of that nature.
Someone who can punish in the bottom side. They're going to go with a Caitlyn friend. This is Caitlyn's friend, Lux. And there's Bard. So there were still a lot of ranged champions that were available that could have been just picked alongside Caitlyn. They could have gone Morgana as well, but goes with the Bard here. Going to offer some nice sustain against the poke, and Gragas going to be the choice here.
Gragas is definitely an interesting pick here. It's been a while since that we have seen... Ooh! Graves being hovered as well, and this could maybe be Ignite Graves with mid Gragas.
Whoa.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay, or it could be Negan. It's been a while.
Wow.
The pure lifesteal Graves.
That's interesting. Afreeca already mixing it up. This is not something you normally see. The KT staff trying to think about it. I didn't see either of the coaches really talking too much until just now.
Ooh, and Silas is going to get picked up last. So this is very akin to that T1 game of earlier where both team compositions just, they don't have very big core identities. It's sort of just toolboxes.
Yeah.
For each of them. Obviously, Karma Shields are still going to be super oppressive in the later stages of the game. Ardent Sensor getting lots of value, and it looks like they're going to actually move the Renekton into the mid lane to go up against the Silas while having... Or moving... Ooh. A little bit of a swap.
All right.
So it is going to be mid Gragas.
Huh. It's been a hot minute. Who's the other player that was playing now? Was that... We saw like one game. Was that Chovy?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So Fly says, well, anything he can do, I can also try. And Fly is always down to try new stuff and experiment. We know him as that player. The question is, will it fall flat on its face, or will Fly show us all the power of mid Gragas once again?
And Jace, Volibear, Silas, Caitlyn, and right at the very end there, you got Brad. So it'll be interesting to see what Aiming and Tushin can try to do on these champions, what type of control they can offer early on, because they're going to be needing to chase after Soul Point.
That they will. Well, game number one is going to start off right now with Afreeca on blue and making the first move. You see that KT is doing the same. They're both charging at each other. And if there were a couple of teams that were just going to run into each other, I would imagine these would be a couple of them. Spotted is Ben. And they do not know. Here we go. In goes the Volibear and begin the saxophone. So many low health bars on the side of KT. They're going to be the first ones to have to flash out of here. As Keen is getting low, but he flashes in. And there you go. Mystic flashing forward, picks up first blood. Nice little maneuver there as Keen sets it up, gets them low, and knocks him down, does Mystic. So a nice early lead here to the side of Afreeca, something we rarely see.
Yeah, I mean, normally
LCK.
We don't get an ARAM like that at the very start. Everyone on the side of Afreeca, though, they start off with an assist. Everyone is down some summoners as well, except on the, I mean, I guess on the side of KT, they only ended up blowing 2 flashes, whereas there's 3 on the side of Afreeca.
Yeah. Both supports did use their supportive summoners, I suppose you could say. The Ignite gone on Ben. Exhaust. Let's listen in.
파이팅! 앞에 거 때려, 앞에 거 때려!
Hit the front.
노플 쌀, 노플 이겨.
We win, we win, we win. Also said Silas in a flash.
아, 맛있죠.
Oh, it's delicious. In a cute way. Mystic happy about the start of this game. That's for sure. And Dread is doing Dread things. You guys may not have seen Dread in a long time, but very aggressive jungler. It's kind of the name that he made for himself. So expect him to be invading in your face and looking for ganks.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So already getting started by stealing the Gromp.
Meanwhile, Jason and Renekton just going about their business as usual. And Dread is going to make his way over now into his blue side jungle. Volibear on the flip side just continuing to farm up as it stands. Dread now starting over on his blue buff. This will be very interesting to watch fly here on Gragas in mid lane. Now remember, Gragas a couple of patches ago did get his abilities buffed in terms of damage. So I thought that it would mean for a resurgence in AP Glass Cannon Gragas in the jungle or AP top lane Gragas, but this is twice now in mid lane that he's come out. Dread just going to clear the Scuttle Crab. This is a very ineffective jungle path by Dread. He's sort of all over the place, and he's not getting any of his really key camps respawned. He's going to maybe go for a gank here, but Kuro really has to blunder for this to work.
Yeah, this is... this gank is going to look a lot better, let's just say that. We got the teleport coming in, but Mystic having his shift, and Mono getting not... Oh, finally he's going to take him down. Here comes the rest of everybody. Keen going to get caught out here, aiming, surviving. Even with those minions getting to work.
TP on...
Fly is going to go down. Here comes Dread, and another TP coming in from the Ezreal, looking to turn it around. As Deucin is going to go down mid-teleport, but he might be able to save his teammates as in goes Dread, but doesn't quite have the damage. So Brad, the real Chad, being a great friend in the end. And there you go.
Ooh, but Kuro actually gets his recall denied.
The two of them.
Oh man, what is going on right now?
TP from aiming. Now Mystic wants that gold. He'll get it at the end. He's also picked up red buff.
What a fiesta!
I know,
going
it's great.
On here. This is truly something. Now, Renekton does get back up to the top lane first before Jace. And so even though Jace did go for the cold start...
This broke the record for the fastest first blood, by the way, in 2020 Summer. 51 seconds. The last one was match 9.
Yeah. Okay,
again,
huh?
Yeah, okay. It's going to avoid the trap. Tries to walk forward, and, well, now he's going to get netted, yeah. Had used his Arcane Shift, as Magical Journey truly is something magical. How about another kill? Here we go. No, that's not, no.
You know what I'm thinking?
About Mickey D's?
No, not thinking about Mickey D's. I'm thinking about a certain hum. You know what? No? It's fine. I can tell you've never been to a circus. It's well, let me introduce you to one. So, Volibear comes in, gets onto Mystic, who manages to Arcane Shift out. Now remember, Gragas doesn't have Flash, so he can't Flash to connect on the body slam and interrupt. Now, Mystic does have teleport available, so he's going to come back in at the north, and he's trying to actually clip aiming. And I do wonder if he had just teleported on a further back. Okay, this is...
Keen, will he live? Yes, he will. That gank not very effective. And yeah, now we're just grouping up mid because, you know, why not?
Dun, 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 dun. What is going on?
Oh, that was a nice follow-up cast from Kuro. He's going to go down. Will fly. What a play. Hits level 6 first before the Gragas. And, all right. This is the kind of game we need 2 play-by-plays for, not... we don't need too much analysis for this one. Take it away.
Yeah, back over to you, Valdez.
Yeah, I'll let you take this one, actually.
No, I insist. Please break it down.
Wow. Those are some 2020 spring memes right there.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Oh, Keen actually missed that one.
Well,
This wave is a little bit awkward for him to get, but he is going to survive. And, all right, let's see.
This was something. This is a series of events.
Oh.
So, okay, Mystic, Arcane shifts backwards, gets exhausted by the Brad, and then he's trying to anticipate what KT's going to do. He manages to not step on the trap, but it just doesn't matter. He gets killed anyway. And then here in mid lane, Kuro, he has the Gragas ultimate, and just a really beautiful ult. He actually misses the knockup. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Giving the Ramus thumbs up. What is happening?
All right, Keen trying to turn it around. He's going to get that second dash, and the ultimate just misses. Okay, well, that's... I guess we're still trying to keep it interesting here, perhaps. Thank you, Bono.
A great game
This is awesome.
of League of Legos.
I feel like I'm casting the LPL right now.
Yeah. Well,
Never-ending fiesta. 8 kills, 8 minutes. I think they might just, let's run Bono up top lane again.
oh,
Actually,
he's already
Red
that's
to
it.
top.
Yeah, he's of course. I mean,
Dread, you go top 2. It'll help out.
the only play that exists.
I like it.
Yep. Same.
It's very enjoyable.
And Fly is going to take the red buff. Dread continuing to farm up. Maybe the action is going to stop. I don't want to try to jinx it, though. Wave now pushing away from Ben and Mystic, but they are hitting some of the minions, aiming, just continuing to shove in at this point in time. Now, the one thing that is going well for KT is that Kuro is in a pretty good spot in mid lane. He is very far ahead in the EXP department, and that can't be understated. His teleport's almost up and available again. He's dead even on CS, has a couple of Darksteel stacks. And it looks like Bono, he's going to start up the Infernal Dragon, whereas Dread moving over immediately to the Rift Herald. And this obviously is going to be a pretty good victory for KT.
Yeah. Inferno Drake obviously going to be quite nice, especially for their comp. And we're just grouping up mid and trying to run across. Deny this Rift Herald at the same time. They might be able to do so. There's a couple of control wards that Dread had to clear out, so the DPS wasn't quite there. There's another controller. They're going to keep it alive, actually. It will not leash. Oh, that's a nice setup. If he can land the stun as well, not quite going to be able to. Volibear will, as the cask is not able to do enough to disengage. Shelly will release, but that is a nice follow-up kill by KT, who are in a pretty nice place in this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much action happening, pretty much non-stop. So a lot of the champions are just going to be so accelerated. And that's going to be pretty interesting for the mid-game. KT, they also have the first Infernal Dragon. Now they're going to get the Rift Herald. Mystic, however, is sitting pretty comfortable down there in bot lane. He's about to get yet another turret plate under his belt. He's up 20 farm over Caitlyn, who does have a call, so that will mitigate some of the pressure. The gold advantage is not super big, so this game still is not completely blown open. You can see KT, they grab the Rift Herald. Take a look at Tushin's ultimate, and Kuro, I mean, he just helps go in there. Graves' ult comes out right in Graves' face, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty easy pickup.
Yeah, sets them down. They do have a nice amount of pick with the Bard alongside of the Bear. Good friends, the two of them. Just to have great follow-up after that Tempered Fate. And still waiting for some of the effectiveness to come out of the Gragas. Still not on a first item, but going for Proto Belt. That is already complete here for Kuro, who is 2-0 and 2. And is going to have the pushing advantage because of that. See where Bono decides to drop that Rift Herald. As all of the turrets are relatively healthy. That's a nice stun, by the way, onto Ben. Doesn't quite get that second trap to land, though. As we are Still hanging out.
Well, I mean, the thing is at this point in the game, 2.5 minutes until Ocean is going to come up. And with all the chaos that's been happening, you have to imagine that neither team wants to actively keep looking for fights. So I can't imagine a fight to take place before that dragon. And if KT wants to just ignore it in favor of waiting for Caitlyn to hit her first core item, waiting for Silas to get a couple more items, etc., they're free to do that. I would imagine Gragas should be able to get to Proto Belt. Hold on, though.
Oh, Kuro gonna miss the knock-up. Here comes Bono. Had his ultimate, but decided, you know, actually probably not. Nice trade down here on the bottom side. Temper Fate baited out. Tucson having to get out of there. But that's just going to be the ultimate going down. Tucson pretty low at the same time. Here comes Bono. Very forward is Mystic. He's also got Dread nearby, so Ben's just going to face check here, try to bait it out, and, well, will the beat be worth it in the end as here comes Graves trying to burst down Tucson. Can't quite get in range. And so, just going to be another 3-on-3 in the bottom lane, because that's exactly what we need here in this game. Well, I'm gonna clear all that out.
I'm glad that you understand that it's what we need.
Yeah.
And so now aiming has teleport available. Mystic does as well. 1 minute until that Ocean Dragon comes up. And you can see here that Kuro's not really achieving a whole bunch anymore. And mostly what Gragas is trying to do there and why Kuro is hovering around right in front is that turret plate is on its last leg. Bono's going to come over here. He's going to summon the Rift Herald right in front of the turret. And I do not know if it'll charge in time. No, it's not. That is, honestly, this is a wide Peepo sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think it's time to Peepo leave after that one. Oh, man.
Oh, that's just the worst feeling ever. I'm feeling proxy bad right now.
Yeah, that's not.
Because of watching that.
Oh, man.
It's a pretty rare mistake to have happen, too. Mystic trying to turn it around. We got a TP coming in. The rest of the team is like, actually, no. We got you, Kuro. Just kidding. Haha. That's a huge amount of damage with the W set. And here come Afreeca. Graves plus Karma is always a fun little combo. Makes that Graves always be in the right position.
And it looks like Ocean Dragon, I mean, it should go the way of Afreeca. And Smeb and Keen about to take a very big trade.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what Keen is doing right now. Oh.
Okay. That is... Okay. I can't remember the last time Keen made a mistake like that.
Yeah.
Maybe all the action's getting to him. He's like, I need it. I need blood. And it just gets shut down really easily there by Smeb.
He could have popped Dominus in response to the Shock Blast and lived, but he would still be dogged down eventually. So, okay, you know what? It never ends here.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. You just gotta hop on the play-by-play hype train, I think.
Well.
And yeah, never-ending action. The poke is real. Out of Afreeca. And Smeb's actually been, I feel like he's really been slowly getting back into things here. Obviously that trade wasn't because he, you know, played amazingly or anything like that. I think it was Keen's mistake more so there. But he's been really consistent the last 3 or 4 games. So that's really cool to see if he can potentially try to climb back to his old level. Would be exciting for KT fans.
And let's take a look at this. So Renekton's trying to go in on Jason. Watch the rage. So all gets expended. And he just walks into the brush, doesn't even cast the Dominus in response to the Shock Blast, and he just dies. Pretty bread and butter. Not saying anything.
탑 잡았다.
I got top.
궁을 못 썼다.
He didn't or couldn't use ult? Yeah. He didn't use ult?
Yeah.
So,
wasn't able to.
Yeah. Dread, you're gonna get tagged by a Caitlyn ultimate.
Yeah. Now, does Keen also have a little bit of a 0-2 power spike in him? We all know about Nuggery's 0-2 power spike and how scary that can be. Keen does have a little bit of a mean streak in him as well. Definitely get a bit angry and start to play in overdrive. Certainly doesn't look too happy there in that in the face cam. That is one fast burly boy.
I am not totally sure how he's able to move with that kind of force.
Well, you know what they say about mass.
What? What?
I simultaneously I was trying to think about the equation for for the force applied.
Yeah, I think
It's like mass times acceleration or something like that.
that's an L.
We got a lot of 12-year-olds in the chat. They probably haven't taken physics yet.
That is a very big L. That is.
Thanks, L.
Yeah.
S.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's farm though. That's why it's plural.
yeah, that makes sense.
You know.
Well, he is going to apply a lot of force, is what I'm trying to say. He's moving fast. He's got a lot of mass, so he's going to be hitting like a truck. Although he doesn't quite have the farm. I mean, he's kind of, he's there. He died twice, which is really the big issue. So, but he has caught up in terms of levels. So there's that. And now, with the way this game has been going, we're just going to have a massive team fight over this Rift Herald, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, the Rift Herald, the thing is right now, KT, they're ahead 2,000 gold. They have that Infernal Dragon as well. And Mountain's coming up in a minute and a half. So, Mountain being the soul of this game is very spicy because it's game ending for both of these teams. Neither can really resist against it that well. Fly's going to move up to top lane, try to pick up the minion wave. Will go down, regardless, the turret.
Yeah, we're just farming it out. You'd see that Keen was having a little bit more of a difficult time down on the bottom side. 2 items completed here for Jace. He is on like 3 half items at this moment in time as Keen. So still struggling to hit those item spikes, and he's not having a fun time in the lane because of it. Actually misses a bunch of CS too, and just gonna back off there. Doesn't exactly know where the enemy is, so it's definitely an awkward and feels bad lane for Keen right now. Smev gonna take another turret.
Rift Herald popped up here in top lane, and I mean, this will crash into the top tier too, but realistically, this is going to be the strongest point that Afreeca is at for the next several minutes. I mean, Renekton almost has the Black Cleaver complete. You have Oblivion Orb, Protobelt on Gragas. On the flip side, Kuro still doesn't yet have the Luden's Echo completed on the Sylas, and there's 3 seconds until Mountain comes up. Now, the thing about this is Afreeca's willing to trade 2 turrets for the Mountain Dragon, and it is just, it's a pretty horrendous decision given the way the items are across the board on all the champions. This would have been one of the closest points they could be at. And
yeah, and oh man. Now Fly is really trying to force the issue, and the Tempered Fade may be able to make a fight come out. That cask was good to slow them all down, but Kuro is so strong right now, at least Fly is going to go down. And on the chase, here comes KT Morph. Mystic trying to chase a bear through the jungle. That's not very nice. He's being a little bit mean to Bono there, but at least at the same time, Keen Mystic able to get some value damage onto this turret. We'll take that out.
well, Luden's complete now for Sylas. And now KT are the ones that are gonna be sitting. Don't look at Gragas. Just don't.
I already saw it.
Nah, I wish you hadn't.
Just getting ready to talk about it.
Yeah, I bet you were.
So
Bard Ultimate comes out,
Yeah.
and Fly just able to go down. Now, one of the things they might be thinking is that the Grievous Wounds against Sylas right now can have some value, and even perhaps against Volibear. But the issue is that the dragon just went down.
Okay, well, Keen might die here. We got the smite coming down, but the ability for Sylas to dog down anyone is pretty great, as he will eventually take down the Renekton with his own dominance. That is one big boy. Sylas now 4-0-2. And looking pretty buff there with the Dominus. Flash in by Tucson. I like that. He forces the flash out of Mystic. Tucson's having a great Bard game so far. Does help that the enemy team is just grouping up for fights and stuff, but certainly doing a good job. And now no flash on Mystic, and he is going to just be sniped out by Aiming, who eventually gets the headshot from very far range. I would imagine, although that looks like a shock blast. Maybe it was like Red Buff that took the kill or something like that. Either way, they get the kill, and more value going in the pockets of KT.
No. Like KT, as long as they play this calm and collected, they should actually be able to walk away with this one victorious. Their team comp is in a really, really good spot right now.
Was that a zoom in on the McDonald's banner?
You mad?
No, I just got to pick up a Big Mac set.
Right.
Oh, man. Well, Keen to space checks here.
Keen to space checks. Ends up being brought down by the Silas, and then you look at the minimap and what Afreeca's doing in response, and really, I mean, there's just not a whole lot going on for them. So they seem very lost in this game. They seemed like they were so willing to flip so many coins. Now, I will say that obviously the super early game was extremely unfortunate. All things considered. We see another replay of KT.
Yeah, and it was Red Buff that got the kill. So I wasn't going crazy there or anything like that. But yeah, KT in a very good spot. And this is what they need. I mean, this is one step towards a 2-0, and getting a 2-0 would make it even possible if they could defeat Damwon that they could actually just not even have a tiebreaker. If it's close, then there is a chance that we have a tiebreaker, of course. But again, it requires KT to defeat Damwon, so this is the first step. As okay, here comes KT coming in with the Tempered Fate. Mystic in a really unfortunate spot there as he gets over the wall, but he was Tempered Fated. So down he goes, and that's going to be the Ezreal out of the fight. KT immediately will go on to this Baron, and should be able to take this out with relative ease.
Now, once they get the Baron, they're going to have more than enough time to reset, run to the Mountain Dragon, pick that one up for themselves. They're going to bring themselves to almost soul point. They're just so far ahead right now. It's a little bit over. I mean, it's hard to imagine how Afreeca comes back and wins this. And I think the only realistic way is somehow Gragas gets a multi-man ultimate, and then Renekton pops off and they win a 5 versus 4. So even in this replay, I mean, Volibear, he finds his way on top of Ezreal. Hammer comes down by Jace. They immediately convert into the Baron.
Tucson is, it's got my vote. Although I guess Kuro is 4-0-3, so we do like our KDAs here, the POG voters. So you may be able to pick that one up. Now, this time around, Afreeca aren't just going to let the, well, they've got to go now. If they're going to, well, okay. Actually, they are going to let it go. And we got another Tempered Fate onto the Ezreal. The stun is not going to land, but he's right in the front line. He's going to be able to flash away to try to escape as Fly was in the back. I didn't even notice him. He wasn't able to do much. Nobody blocks for Keen, as the rest of them are just running away. And KT now with 2 Mountain Drakes on top of everything else.
I mean, they did manage to pick up Gragas right there. Kuro's still down there in bottom. Dread now having to run for the hills. And the other thing that you can mention is the base levels on the side of KT. They're so much higher. 2 levels in AD carry, 1 in mid, 1 in top lane. And in jungle, I mean, Bard's even up 2 levels, or not jungle, support. Bard's up 2 levels. So the level lead, in addition to the double mountain, in addition to the Infernal Dragon, it is just so oppressive right now for this enemy team of Afreeca to deal with. And it's very difficult, again, to imagine a way out outside of a multi-man Gragas ultimate with perfect setup. Bard ultimate goes out. You can see Afreeca, they try to clump in and do something there, but the damage output from Afreeca, it's just so high. Gragas tried to go for some sort of assassination inside the jungle pit, or dragon pit, wasn't able to do so.
Yeah, he's pretty far behind at this point. Looks like he's going probably Zhonya's, I would imagine, after this one. As I think they'll have more value than a Banshee's Veil, but we'll have to wait and see what he does go ahead and pick up. As the Baron pushes coming in now from the side of KT, not really achieving much. Looks like they want to push in top side. And, well, the Baron is actually gone, so it's really not going to actually get anything here. As, look at Brad. He's in the enemy jungle. He's putting down some vision. And, yeah, just going to push on in here. So, mostly using the Baron buff to take out the Mounted Drake. And from there, just try to solidify their lead.
And I think that Afreeca, at this point in time, they're going to try to just wave clear over and over and over, wait for Baron, try to take a miracle team fight, and then try to salvage the game from there. But they're down 8,000 gold. The resistances on the side of KT, especially because some of their champions are even building resistances. So you're getting a free 12% for free, and in 2 minutes, it's going to be Mountain Soul is going to be available. And once they have that, they can just plow through KT's team comp.
Yeah. Take a look at the amount of stopwatches they have, by the way. KT has 4 of them ready to go. Volibear deciding a cloth armor is more important, but of course he's building towards his 3rd item. But either way, just going to have that ready. And yeah, Baron and Mountain Drake will spawn at the exact same time, so we'll hope that for KT's sake, they either, I would assume, try to go for the Mountain Soul and then go for the Baron, or maybe they could even get both. We'll have to wait and see. As we got Smeb now down in the bottom side, misses that cannon. Yeah, and haven't had too much action after the Baron push, actually, as, okay, nice little dodge. Everything dodged. Tucson still trying to get in there. They're going to find Mystic in the back line. He has to flash again, but in goes the silence from behind, and he just gets pummeled by the combo of Kuro and Smeb. And here come the stopwatch.
Whoa!
Missed blast from Ben, and this is all but over, guys. I mean, Afreeca trying their best to do what they can, but they're even going to slow down Keen here. Only 2 members left. Could look for the inhibitor now, as Tucson doing a bit of a moting in the mid lane.
And it looks like what they're going to do is just go for the double inhibitor, I'm assuming. I would be very surprised if they actually elect to end. I think ending would require Afreeca to donk off. And so we'll see what ends up happening.
Oh.
If they want to take it super careful,
They're doing it.
they'd back up, but okay.
It's the KT way. Keen trying to clear the wave. And actually, they're pushing quite fast. You see that Dread is going to get zoned off here, but this is where it gets a little bit sticky, as Keen is doing a great job. He is very tanky. Kuro getting low. And now KT have to say, okay, just hit the turret, hit the Nexus. Maybe we can burst it down. The Tempered Fate gets nothing, and this is a really awkward fight. Fly is going to go down. As the front line of KT still quite strong. The stun comes in on the Keen, as well as the trap, and he will go down. And it looks like they may have just been able to do it. The Bear. It's going to take some time away from Mystic, and that will be it. GG, 18 kills to 4.
I do not know what it was that I just witnessed right there at the end, Valdez. That was definitely very strange.
They were kind of playing with their food there a little bit. I suppose they were so far ahead that they were just like, you know, let's not do the LCK thing. Let's just end it. Want to go home fast, you know?
Yeah.
They want to emulate Showmaker, maybe. And, yeah, there was kind of some downtime there in the middle of that game, but it was definitely KT favored all the way.
I mean, I think, like, the very start, Afreeca, they got the first blood on the Ezreal, and then the chaos never stopped happening. And so now Afreeca, they can't feel too good about that first loss. And now KT, they might be trying to ride this momentum, because remember, this match is so important for them to win and then try to go up against Damwon in order to keep everything alive. So this is very do or die for them.
Absolutely. And, I mean, KT looks pretty good as well. I mean, it wasn't a bad game by any means out of them. I think that the AP Gragas, once again, kind of fell flat. And there were a lot of other things that were available. It's not like he had to go for AP Gragas or anything like that. Just wanted to try something new and just got dunked on a little bit by Kuro's Silas, who did turn the tables.
Well, we'll see how game number 2 is going to go, because that was definitely a very brawlery kind of draft out of both of these teams. And with all the chaos that unfolded super early, it's just a very fast accelerated early and mid-game. And you can just sort of see the goal difference over time. It was staying relatively even, but then it just swung in KT's favor. They never really let it go. And then just a couple of small instances really just snowballed it to a point where Afreeca couldn't recover.
Yep, they got way too far behind. I mean, Ezreal did the most damage in the game, which is quite interesting, but it was mainly just all the fighting early on.
Yeah.
And him just always being alive and there, just shooting a million things. So there that goes. KT with a pretty decisive win in game number 1, looking to live the dream and take Afreeca's spot away. We'll see if they can do it as we're going into a break.
죽였다고 해줘.
야, 레넥 잡아, 레넥 잡아, 레넥 잡아.
김긴 죽여줘, 김긴 죽여줘. 가, 저피.
끄면서.
네, 다 나오긴 했다.
야야 하자 이거. 타워 깨자. 끝내자. 박을라 한다 그라가스.
들어갔어.
씹었어.
이거 레넥.
앞으로 들어가자 앞으로.
이제 볼게 이거 플래시. 까비.
야 이제. 이제.
나이스!